Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nerds the Human, and welcome to the special Games Guide edition of Rome Total War, where today we're going to have a look at how you can change the city names as well as the region names in the game files themselves. This means when you start the game, you'll have all of these new city names in here, and you don't have to change them in-game. Now, of course, we have had a previous video where we did change them in the middle of the game by fiddling around with the preference file, and then a bit like on Medieval 2 Total War, just changing around the name by typing it in like that. But as I said, we want to have a little fiddle with it so that we can have more options for roleplay, which includes the region names, be it something more historical reference like Lavinium, or just a bit silly like the splash zone around Vesuvius. Whichever way you want to do it, it is your choice. We'll have a little look at the roleplay later, but for now, let's head into the files and see how this is all done. In order to change the name of these regions and towns at the very start of the game, we need to head into the files and of course Rome Total War. From there, inside data, you will eventually find the subfolder of text. Inside there, we'll find the file we're looking for, imperial_campaign_regions_and_settlement_names.txt. Bit of a long one, but that is the file we need, and it's indeed the only file we need. At first, I thought this might be a little bit more complicated, and we'd have to change the names everywhere, but nope, this is all we need to change. So let's head in and go and play around with the file. Once inside the file, you can see yourself a long list of region and city names. And essentially all we're going to do is edit the names here on the right. Now the left part is just the reference. So in desk_strat, when you want to say, I don't know, add stone walls into Abericum, you would find Britannia_inferior. That is the region that it refers to. But if we go and just change the right here, this will simply change the name of the region on the map, and we won't have to change it in any other files. Simply here is all we need. So I'm going to go change this. I'm going to change this to Tnarf, because that is, of course, Tnarf of England. So that's what we're going to do. We can change that around, I can save it up, and we can load up the game. Here we are in England then, and of course we didn't actually rename the town itself, but we did rename the region, and you can see Tnarf is now the official name of that region, which is marvellous, because that's just the start. We can change around these town names as well, and we can really twist the game an awful lot. Of course, this game is designed from the Roman perspective. The regions here have the Romanized names because it is the Roman view of the world. But if you want to make this more localized, and I know some people are very much determined to do that when they mod this game, then this is how you can do this nice and simply from the start. So let's head back in the files, let's make a few more big changes and see what else we can fiddle with. Back inside the files then, of course, we do need to actually go and change Abericum itself. So let's go and find Abericum and change that around to its proper name of York. Marvellous. Now, you might be wondering why I've gone for Tnarf. Well, partly because when you go on any motorway in England, basically, if you're going towards the north, there's a big sign which just says the north. It doesn't do it for the south for some reason. So I might well just change this to Up Tnarf to give it its proper name. Marvellous. And now, of course, we can go and change a few other things as well. Of course, we need to change Londinium as well, so we're going to grab that and just change it over to Slough, why ever not. And of course, we do need to go and change Britannia Superior, so just the one T in Britannia. We'll head up, and there we go, Britannia Superior. That can be changed to the south. Lovely. There we are, the south. Now we've done that, we can go and change some other bits and pieces. And one thing you might want to change, and I know lots of people do, is Rome, which is actually a little bit further down the files. I don't know if they missed it out originally. It might actually be further up here, I don't know. But if something's further down in the files, then this will always replace it. Now, I know some people who have asked me about this video so they can get Rome to change. It's possibly because this will be overriding what they've already done. So, just make sure that there's nothing further down. Indeed, that was actually the last change that was made. So, Rome itself, we're just going to go change to the city of Remus, the way it always should have been. Back on the campaign map then, and we can see we've got the city of Slough down in the south, and up to north is the city of York, of course. And then we have the Cornish Kingdom. Yes, the classic kingdom with Chester, which is, of course, what Dever is in real life. Over in the west, we have ourselves English Colony 101 on the Emerald Isle. As you might well expect, we are doing this from the English point of view, to be honest. We've changed it around. So, yeah, Ireland is kind of seen as English Colony 101. Anyway, that aside, we can move south to the Eurocamp holidays that are Brittany. Ah, lovely times in my youth. Talking about lovely times, Europe's battlefield over here in Belgium, where we have ourselves Waterloo and all of those great meetings with the French and the Germans. Oh, we love this area up here. It's very much our favourite. Moving down south, we have the region of Eleanor. Good old Aquitaine can only really be in honour of our old queen. And in the west, we have good old Port and Cork with our noble allies. Ah, blessed be the Portuguese. And of course, down south, we have ourselves our summer holidays in Marbella. You know what, Cordoba, bit too far inland. Let's just go back down to the coast and have a nice trip over to Gibraltar, where the port is. Lovely stuff. But of course, any British map, any British version of this map wouldn't be complete unless Athens was renamed after the British Museum. Because frankly, this is where most of its stuff comes from. I say that, it comes from basically everywhere apart from Britain. Anyway, the British Museum is the logical name for Athens over here, as well as, of course, Byzantium. But anyway, you might notice this is a slightly different map to normal, and that's essentially because this isn't my Desca strat that I normally use. It's actually some ones that they sent in. Ivica Armanas has actually sent in quite a few comments based on some of these modding videos and given lots of ideas of how we can make a more historically accurate Rome Total War. You might well have seen his comments around, and this is indeed his Desca strat file that he sent me. I wasn't intending on putting this on this video, but I was exploring it yesterday, and so it turns out when I made this video that we now have that, which just means King's Colony 101 happens to be British. Why he's left these guys over here, I will never know. But hey ho, that's just the way the cookie has crumbled. I'll leave it to you to decide how you might want to rename all of these regions. If you have any good suggestions for roleplay ideas for the renaming, do put them down in the comments below. I would love to hear your ideas, and maybe we can incorporate some of those into future videos. But for now, I will leave you. I'm Thomas, this is Tenacious Human, and this has been our guide to changing the region and settlement names. Thank you, and goodbye.
Go, my pappies, go! Hunt down the German dogs.
My chariots are complete lunatics! Stop charging into the spears! Stop charging into the spears! Why do these guys not break? Everyone else has fled! Go home! Go home! What is happening at the chariots?